All right. Namaste, great souls. Wonderful to have satsang, practice together, do what we can to regulate our nervous systems and touch into peace and maybe even live in that peace longer. And that's how we obviously can share with the world and do whatever it is we're drawn to do as well in a serviceful collective way. But the yogis always point back to it begins here with each individual soul. And that's what we can align with. So we know this. I'm just reminding us. Okay. I'm gonna come back into onto the mat and start in a butterfly. So we'll do our breath practice, bringing in as much compassion as possible to our bodies, acceptance is a huge word, and we'll just start with ourselves. So if you want to roll your blanket like this, you're welcome to. If that's more of a restorative pose, we are going to sit in Supta Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose, which if you want some blocks supporting your outer thighs, you're welcome to. Make it as cozy and comfortable as possible. We're going to place one hand on the belly and the other hand toward the heart in a way that doesn't scrunch up your shoulders. In fact, keep those shoulders down. I'm going to sit up just to have it possibly more audible here. And as we always start closing the eyes, going inward, creating space and allowing everything that's here to be here. And we're not pushing it away, which maybe we wish it wasn't here, different emotions, different experiences of the world. But for this moment, we're actually having tea with it. We're trying to be comfortable with the discomfort that may be going on physically in your body, in the world, and just seeing how we can regulate and by allowing and bringing in compassion. So as we breathe a full yogic breath, the belly, the heart, the crown opens. We open up to higher guidance. Exhale, crown, heart, belly, feet. Now breathe at a pace that feels comfortable to you. You may have a mantra that is a sound that goes with the breath. We've talked about the word H-O-N-G, Hong, Sanskrit, on the inhale, and Sa, S-A-U, which is translated as I am spirit. At the core of my being, I am spirit. Next couple rounds, belly's still expanding, but tune into the heart, to the crown. H-O-N-G, Hong, S-A-U, if that speaks to you. Or simply following the sound of the breath or your own particular mantra you may have. And really feel the difference as we get into the upper chakras focus. We're still breathing into the lower chakras, but we're focusing more upward. We're directing the energy upward and expansive through the crown. And perhaps asking those healing energies, archangels, devotional gurus or people you may practice with to just asking for help, to open up to something greater, something more wise, loving, and compassionate. You may or may not feel that, but you may. The key is asking and opening to it. Okay. All right. And opening in the sanctuary of the heart, we're going to slowly draw those inner thighs in. To go is super slow, so there may be some shaking, that tension, tarama release. Let it shake out. If you are on a bolster, you want to take that out and place it to the side and hug the knees into the shoulders, rocking side to side, head releasing. Thank you, body, for showing up today, for what we can do, and appreciating that with compassion. It's a practice, learning compassion as we draw the knees away from ourselves and then toward ourselves. Inner borders of the feet together and just going in the opposite direction. Okay, let's tune into some core strength, going slow. Maybe shake out the legs. Get that reverse blood flow going on. Hands gently at the back of the head. We're not yanking the neck. We're going to slowly lower that right leg down, not touching the earth, flexing the right toes back. Exhale, twist, and then extend that right arm, if possible, outside the left knee. Taking it slow, and then coming back. Ease down for a moment. And of course, the other side, the left leg lowers, flexing the toes back, the torso lifts, we twist, and we extend our left arm on the outside of the knee. Keep breathing, and we'll flow with mindful awareness as we slowly lower the leg, twist, and extend. Tuning into sensation, the sound of the breath, twist and extend. We'll do one more round, getting the inversion and the strengthening, especially the core strengthening, and the twisting. We know twists help release the stuck energy. So important to release what we can't control. And we know the serenity prayer, control what we can. And the wisdom to know the difference. Shaking it out. Shaking, shaking, shaking. And then happy baby. Reaching our hands at the inner arches of the feet. And moving from the right corner of the abdomen over to the left. If you want to extend one leg at a time, you can, or you can keep the knees bent. And then we'll return to the butterfly again. Knees open, belly, heart, crown. Full yogic breathing, adding mantra if you'd like. I am spirit in this form, in this physical being, open to spiritual connection and guidance and wisdom and compassion. And then slowly drawing the knees toward one another. We're going to roll onto our side. And before we do our standing pose flow, let's just work on some shoulder work here. If you're comfortable sitting like this, I'm going to use one foot in front of the other. I'm going to use a little blanket here. Set the sit bones on. Again, the hands at the back of the head, but not just lightly touching. We open the heart, we expand the chest, the eye gaze up. And the exhale, rounded spine, drawing in. Inhale, unfurling, belly, heart, shoulders open, eye gaze up. And exhale, letting go what we can, not control. Doing what we can, and what we can do is align our nervous system with something higher, something greater, and regulating the flow of positive, healthy energy flowing through our body. Lengthen up and accept the stuff that's funky. Comfort with the discomfort. It's a practice for sure. Let's add the twist. Bring our right hand on the knee, left hand behind you, maybe right hand on the left knee. Exhale, chin parallel, navel to the spine. Easing, I like to do that, easing back about a halfway, and then twisting again. Releasing tensions out. Inhale, open those angel wings. Expand the heart, open the palms, open as we move to the other side. Left hand on the left knee, right hand behind you, or perhaps on the right knee, chin parallel. Just some physical cues. Easing back if that speaks to you, or staying with the twist. Let that sound of the breath comfort you. And open to compassion. And opening the heart. Front, back, and sides. Eagle Heart Mudra. Take a breath here. Feel the warmth. And let's get the legs into it again. First, take them out. Very good. And then we're going to come into our, I like to use a blanket, you know, for the knees, even though there's a carpet here. So you do what feels right to you. Wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Let's make those circles. Really feel the abdomen circling around as well as the hips a couple times in one direction, and then a couple times in the opposite. All right, let's do that Pilates extension, reaching through the left heel, and the left toes are turned under, so you can really feel the hamstring and the calf beginning to open. And then lifting off without turning the hip to the side, navel to the spine, or right arm extends, working with the opposites, the bilateral of the brain. The left side says one thing, the right side says the other, and now we're going to combine, let them interact. Right knee or right elbow to left knee as we extend. Fold in, yin phase. Extend, yang, active. One more. Really hearing the sound of the breath. And extending, you're reaching out, and then lowering, turning the left toes under again. And let's go ahead and do a down dog before we go to the other side. So full body stretch, lifting the tailbone up, pulsing, magnetizing the heart toward the thighs. Let's choose to be that peace. Calmness, peace radiates through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. No, that's the deepest truth. Of course, we allow all the energies to come through, the anger, the fears, the doubts, the worries, but we return back. So key, returning back to the peace within, cultivating that, asking for that as we come down and hover. Scoop it out one time, inhale, cat stretch, exhale, rounded spine. Okay, you guessed it. Right leg extends, reaching through the hamstring and the calf, connected. Lifting that right leg up without turning the hip to the side. Flex through the toes. Left arm extends. Palm faces in. Exhale. Fold. It's a bit of a balance, even though we're on opposites here. We're opposite balancing. Yin and yang. So much of life is the yin and yang. As we know, the paradoxes. Sometimes they're extreme paradoxes. But the yoga offers us to return to center amidst the paradox. It's a challenge for sure, but possible. Lower the hand down and press through that back foot. Let's go back to downward facing dog. That's our affirmation. Himananda Yoga. Calmness and peace radiate through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. You may not totally feel that, but we're affirming our highest truth. And being compassionate with whatever you're feeling as you step one foot in, especially the harder feelings, the harder situations. We know we need more compassion there. I do rock side to side, and of course there could be anger, fears, etc. So relaxing any mental burdens you can't control. Have some balance through the 4 points of the feet, not coming back on the heels too much. Balance it out. Bend the knees, Uttasana, strength pose. Be those warriors as we extend back and then sweep forward. You can pulse here with your arms in front, or you can sweep it back again. And pulse. Inhale, rising up to mountain. Arms to the sky. Feet rooting deep, deep, deep into the earth. Let's root down. Feel the support there. Turn my toes in a little bit. Coming to Tadasana, mountain pose. See if your hands want to be in Namaste or the Eagle Heart Mudra. And this is warmth to the heart, compassion to the heart. Sending prayers of care to others, visualizing them or parts of the world that speaks to you. Letting the light be bigger than the darkness. Cultivating that within you. That's where it starts. It starts within all of us. And we'll come into our half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Inhale. Again, heart expansion. Clasping the left wrist, tailbone down, arcing over to the right. Legs strong. Eye gaze gently up. And affirming. Strength and courage fill my body cells. Strength and courage fill my body cells. Courage, strength, and compassion, all these qualities. Let's inhale as we come up. Lengthen and grow. Add those eagle heart arms for the shoulders before we go the other side. Let's interlock. Open the heart. Release tension from the shoulders as we add a standing back bend here. And then release. soften the knees and just swirl. Swirl. Just cleansing from within and cleansing our aura around us. Just about shoulder height. Alrighty, rooting, 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 and rising, rising, rising simultaneously. Inhale, Ardha Chandrasana to the other side, clasping your right wrist, arcing over to the side, and sending those prayers of cares to others as you from may they feel strength and courage. Fill their body cells, or you can keep it strength and courage, fill my body cells, both. Breathing in, breathing out. And allowing also the compassion to be here with the courage. They're not opposites. Inhale, coming back up. Well, it could seem like that. And eagle arms. And reaching back, interlock the opposite. So it feels a little different for the heart opening, shoulder opening. Standing back bend, and then cleansing within, cleansing without our aura. Let's take a moment. Visualize that light at the spiritual eye, expanding out, expanding within, and expanding into our world. The light be greater than the darkness. We're all responsible for bringing that, emulating that light within. Okay, we will now combine some vinyasa flow here. Take a drink of water. Hydrate. We're gonna lift up and just add a balanced pose here, not a classic yoga pose. We're rooting down through the left foot, but we're just slowing down the lift off of the foot, that right foot, looking at a point in front of us. Now, if possible, we add a little bit of a twist here. Left hand on the outside of the right knee, right arm out to the side. Okay, adding the balance and then stepping back. So stepping back, I'm going to, no, I'll keep the blanket here. Come into the classic Virabhadrasana 1. We want to be those warriors, tracking the knee over the second toe, rising up the energy as I attune my will to the source of all power. Say it over and over again because it's important to hear. That's what we're doing in our yoga practice. I attune my will to the source of all power. Okay. And then from here, perhaps interlock. Now this knee likes to pop forward. We draw it out to the side. We do the interlock again, but this time with our legs in like a warrior two stance now because we're angled out. And then we come forward and slide that left shoulder inside the knee, bowing to the wisdom of the heart. Letting it lead the way, breath by breath, day by day. And it's strong, so it's important that we take time to unfurl. So we come back off of that heel and rock side to side. Get that deep hydration in our hips. Forgot to say to have the block or the prop by your side because we're going to flow into a balance pose here in a moment. So we come up and we turn the toes under and we step back into our plank. And we come forward and back, crown towards the front of the mat, heels toward the back, navel to the spine, knee, chest, chin, chaturanga. And then extend the legs, mini cobra to start. So recharging the spine, pulsing up the legs, the hands, the spine. Exhale. And this time you can decide if you want to rise up halfway here or all the way. Lion's breath. As I rise up to meet the opportunities of this day. Moment to moment, breath by breath. And then the knees touch down if they're not already. And we do our rounded cat. Folding in. And let's take a neutral spine and see if this works for your wrists. So bring the fingertips towards you, opening up the wrists in that unique way. If it works, if not, do the regular position we just had. Arcing cat-cow. Great for text hands and computer hands. I'll do, of course. And neutral spine. Before, and let the hands come back out. And back to our friend, the down dog. Oh, and before we do, I'm going to grab the block. So grab a prop if you have it, because we will need it for our balance pose to this side. So down dog. We're tuning in to the deep truth of our being, the peace within. The calmness radiates through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. If you want to flow and roll with it, you choose always. Inner borders of the feet together. Let's see if we could bring that left foot up. Bending the knee, opening the hip, and then taking a couple circles here. So we're going to bring our left knee toward our left elbow and then over in a half circle a couple times. Maybe circling, maybe not. As we step forward with the foot between the hands, and we're coming into our triangle, Trikonasana, into our Ardha Chandrasana balance pose. So bring the right hand down, left arm up, and let's get that flow. And the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists. Feel the energy and joy. Fill my body cells. You want to use the block here. Don't collapse on it. Keep strong through the spine, head to tail, maybe add mudra, thumb, index finger. Energy and joy. Fill my body cells. See if this arm wants to come over into Utthita. This is a great shoulder opening if your body allows. If shoulder stuff is big right now, you can have the hand down by your side. So you decide what feels good for your shoulders. And then when that hand comes down, we transition into our balancing Ardha Chandrasana, our half moon. We step the right foot in. We lift off. We open the heart slowly. Looking at a point in front of us. Maybe add the mudra. I expand fully into this moment. Keep that right leg strong. I expand fully into this moment. And when you're ready, take rest. Fold in and take rest in our pyramid pose. Left hip back, right hip forward. Bowing to the wisdom of the heart. Letting it lead the way. And every moment of the day, ideally, we tend to go away and then we can come back. Bow to the wisdom of the heart. The wisdom and the peace of the heart. And let's go ahead and bend both knees. Step forward into our forward fold. Take it out gently. Maybe rest the hands at the elbows. Massage the back of the scalp. See what feels good to you. Loosen up the eye, the me, the mind. Back of the neck. Into the light of the spiritual eye. Much more expansive. And the rounded spine or straight spine. Chair pose, sweeping up. Lengthen and grow. And feel the space all around you, as well as within you. Back to the mountain pose. Leave your hands in namaste. Prayers of care to others, to places on the planet that really need it. Bringing that light within and directing it outward. Okay, we'll take our flow to the other side. Hopefully, I'll remember all the steps here and stages. Rooting down through that right foot this time. So starting with our balance pose slowly by lifting the left leg up. And then maybe adding a twist here. Opposite hand to knee. Opening up to the side. Find a point where your drishti eye gaze can be. And then when you're ready, we step it back into our Virabhadrasana 1. So deep bend of the knees as deep as possible for your body. Back foot's 30 degrees, tailbone down, heart open. Warrior 1. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1, reaching up. Exhale, you can always use those weights. I attune my will to the source of all power. Open over and over to that wisdom, guidance, source of all power. Whatever that is for you, something greater than yourself, nature, archangels, gurus. Attune my will to the source of all power. Big, expansive heart. Interlocking. So it's a warrior 2 legs here. Turn around. And then we come at that angle in our forward fold with that right shoulder inside the right knee. Going to the wisdom of the heart again and again and again. Bring compassion into ourselves and extending that to others. And when it's time to release,
You'll release into the lunge. I know I'm turning around a lot. On top of that left knee, rocking side to side. Opening the hips. Okay, getting ready for our vinyasa classic flow of the plank. Turning the back toe under, stepping back. So by going forward and back, we get some flow, we get some strength. Staying here perhaps a little bit longer than we might otherwise. This time maybe bring one forearm down, then the other. Do that again. And then come on to the tops of the knees into our Sphinx pose, legs strong. So feel that recharge of the spine, and this is a back bend. You know, that brings energy to the system. Forward bends calmness. You want a balance of calm energy. And then when you're ready, we'll hydrate more of the shoulders. A figure 8. See where the head, the eye gaze wants to be. And then when you're ready, elbows by your side, hands underneath the shoulders, legs strong. We're going to rise up in our cobra. So we'll pulse up once to feel that recharge without the weight on the hands. And then we'll rise up. Inhale to meet opportunities of this day. Add the lion's breath. Maybe challenges, there may be obstacles, but we're hoping we meet those as best as possible. Moment by moment, breath by breath. And we're cleansing the throat in lion's breath. When things get funky, we know that they can. You can cleanse out. And then fold in. Rounded. Let's go on to our forearm rounded cat. Scooping out. Feel the difference. Put the forearms down. And then the transition, you could do form down dog, or you could do regular down dog or back. And getting prepped for our 3-legged dog. If possible, the right leg lifting up. Opening the hip with that bent knee. Bringing the right knee, if possible, toward the right elbow. And circling toward the left. You go back a little bit and then come back around. And then extend. And then come forward into our Trikonasana. I'm going to step back so my back isn't facing you. Have your block by your side. Trikonasana into Ardha Chandrasana. So we come up. You know, the stance is pretty sure we do the back foot in, the other at a 90, heart open into the flow of energy and joy. Energy and joy. Fill my body cells. Forward, not collapsing. Feel that connection, head to tail. And heart open, maybe Utthita. See if this works for your shoulders. Energy and joy. Fill my body cells. Opening to the joy kosha within. These qualities are within us, the peace, the love, the joy, the wisdom. And we open. That's what we can do. You can open to them. And we have a lot of compassion for the people, situations, our own situations that are can be incredibly challenging. With compassion, and whatever you're called to do in the form of service with that, in the action step, bending your knee, stepping the hand at a diagonal, and I use a block here. We're going to step that foot in, and we're going to lift off. Keep that back leg strong. And unfurl the arm, perhaps. Eye gaze slowly coming forward. Or you can use a wall behind you, of course, or any variation of a pose. I expand fully into this moment. I expand fully into this moment. And it comes down, lift up, and then we release in our forward fold, Uttanasana. This one, I'm going to bring the palms of the hands underneath the soles of the feet. And you decide which variation works for you. Much as possible. The art of letting go. Can't control. Doing what we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So important, the serenity prayer. I know I keep returning back to that. And we know there's variations in that. Things we can control to certain degrees, and things we can as the heart lifts, arms reach back. And then rise up. Coming into our mountain pose again. And feel the benefits of that flow of our vinyasa. Let's bring palms facing forward, thumb, index finger together. Belly, heart, crown, connected to the Father Sky, and then exhale, crown, heart, belly, feet, Mother Earth, deep in the center. We come back to our center, both qualities of earth and sky. Light and prayers to others, visualize them, or visualize perhaps the place or places on the planet that are needing light. And we're going to bring the hands together. We're going to gradually come down onto the floor. So I haven't done this one in a while. See if this speaks to you or not. You could tap onto the wall, another balance pose, lifting the right leg up, flexing through, coming forward. We won't be here long. Hands come down, fold. And that can be tricky on the knees. So if it's too much, you just step that foot down. Otherwise, we come down into the squat. And we're going to come on to the sit bones. So if it's too much for the knees, you come down first. And then, well, let's go into butterfly again. Make it easier on ourselves. Seated butterfly as we work on
acceptance and compassion, whatever. Starting with our bodies, our minds, our emotions. And then from here, let's see if we can do a little bit of the eagle arm, expanding out. Right elbow underneath the left. Lifting the tips of the elbows up. If you can come forward in that forward fold, or just stay where you are. Amidst life storms, I find my center. I could come back to my center.
Or maybe praying that you come back to your center if it feels like that's not accessible. Lord, help me find the way. So wherever you are in life, make the affirmation work for you. Amidst life storms, I could find my center. Or if I feels like it can help me find my center, help me come back. Unravel and open up. Before we go to the other side with that, let's extend the legs to a seated, extended, open leg pose. Reach the right arm inside and the left arm above. So a lot of kind of half moon variations today, as even though it's going toward full moon, opening the heart, feeling the whole left side, the lunar energy. Just tune in to not only sensations in the body, but the witness observer that's observing all of it, non-judgmentally, pure awareness. And that's not to say we don't need to fight the battles when we need to fight them, but we're also witnessing and observing as well, looking over, coming back to center, and then reaching inside that left knee, calf, right arm reaches up if possible. If this is not in your body plan today, just extend over that leg. This is more of a side, half moon pose, that right side, the doer, the action. You can inquire what can I do around XYZ? And then tune into what spiritual guidance might offer you here. So asking for support in pragmatic ways, and you can have an idea of what you want to ask and see if you get a yes or no. So not making it too complex on spirit. So should I visit that friend and whatever it is, and then listen within is where I'm going with this, not just where I'm going, what guides have taught me to ask spirit in a way that is we can feel, or yes or no answer, so not making it too complicated. Back to butterfly, sensing and feeling. When we ask and incorporate our higher self, we have a much better flow with our action plans in the world and within ourselves. And reaching out, I didn't forget about eagle arm, left elbow underneath the right. See what happens here as we lift the tips of the elbows up. This is great for the shoulders, by the way, and the hips, because we're in the butterfly. Maybe coming forward, maybe not. Mid-sized storms, I find my center. It's really shaky, praying that help me find my center. Help me come back. Deep belly breathing, deep shoulder opening, And then unfurl the arms. Coming up rather than standing up from that other side. Let's just see what we have here. And that left knee bent, left foot here. And you can reach forward and see if your knees want to come into, or your body wants to come into the squat. We did it from standing down. We're just going to do it from ground halfway. I like to do this pose if I'm sitting in a chair, which I often am in my practice. To say the chair is underneath, or the couch, or is underneath me, and just demo this. So I'm sitting in the figure 4 position, so you're able to have a conversation and get a hip opener. Okay, so just think of that the next time, and you of course come down as you're sitting, how to add these stretches in as we're talking, as we're being with others, and that gives permission for other people to do that as well. Before we come back onto our spine, let's go ahead and bring the right ear to the right shoulder, left arm extends out, right hand on the side of the head. Open that pathway of energy. Close the eyes, perhaps. We return to the Hong Saw. Inhale, Hong. Exhale, Saw. It's usually done as a meditation upright, but we keep returning to I am Spirit. Spirit is within me and all around me. And of course, there's suffering. Left ear to left shoulder as well. Around, and maybe you're going through a hard time now. Even more reason for compassion and connection. And then if you have certain ideas of any action steps that, if you are going through a hard time personally, you would maybe come up with 1 or 2 simple things you can do, and then ask for higher guidance. Is that the best step for me? And then see what the answer is. You'll get a clear yes or no. It could be as simple as having a cup of tea mindfully for 15 minutes a day, whatever it is. You're just asking and receiving the answer. And then, of course, there's action in the world that you're contemplating. Tune in and ask for guidance there as well. All right, so we're drawing in the knees and we're easing down onto our backs. I'm going to have the blanket be on the, not on the back of the head, on the rounded on the neck, cervical spine. So we come up and we round down, we shimmy shake down. And we go ahead and hug our knees again. Thank you, body, for showing up today. Working with the breath, the flow, the physical, mental, emotional, and divine alignment. We can do as best as possible. Let's take a flowing bridge. Large toes turn in. And inhale, lift the hips up. Rock one shoulder, then the other underneath you. Magnetize the inner thighs toward one another. And you can interlock, or you can keep your arms down. Every thought is a bridge. This is bridge pose. You can bring your arms up, and that plate-like action. Every thought is a bridge back to my divine self. It could take me away, my thoughts. I catch that and I bring them in as a bridge back to divine awareness. Yeah, and then depending where the arm placement is, we're all going to ripple down from the upper, mid to the low back. And do a couple arcing curls. Sacrum draws into the earth, lumbar off the floor. Exhale, flatten. Really good for the shoulders as well. The bridge pose and the spine. Okay. Let's go ahead and have a wider windshield wiper with our feet. Arms out to the side, draw the knees over to the right for a twist. Heart open. If you want more intensity, you could flex through this right foot, and that is on the top of the outside of the mid thigh. That will open it deeper if that's too much. You just go into the regular windshield wiper. And then we sweep our left arm up and over and affirm. Divine life is within me and all around me. Divine life is within me and all around me. How can I be that beacon of light and peace? Inquiring into that, asking higher guidance. We're drawn to activation, what that would look like. Engage the core, lift the knees up, reset onto the spine by tucking the tailbone under and then finding the neutral spine. Of course, going over to the other side, knees come down to the left. You could bring that foot up if you want more intensity. Or you'll know pretty quickly if that works or not. Heart open. And we're going to sweep the right arm up. Head's going along with the movement. Affirming outwardly or inwardly. Divine life is within me and all around me. Darkness, how can I be that light? Always starts from within. Activate the core. If you feel complete, if you keep sweeping at your pace, knees come up, readjust. Excellent. And let's fold in. Let's fold those knees in, hugging, giving yourself a big compassionate hug. Thank you, body. Thank you, mind. Emotions, mental body, clearing back to the truth within, returning home. Rotating the ankles a few times in each direction. Doing that circling of the knees, which will open the hips, keeping the inner borders of the feet together. Let's finish how we started. I know we started in butterfly, but the core strengthener, the shaking the legs out. Just do it maybe 2 or 4 times. Hands gently behind the base of the neck. Lowering that right leg down, but not all the way on the floor. Lifting up, twisting, and extending. And then coming back. Lowering the left leg down. Lifting up, twist, And extend. See if you want to do this one more round or not. If you want to go again, lower that right leg down, lift up and twist. Back to center. One more time. Exhale. And excellent. As always, take a moment here and Supta Baddha Konasana, as always, meaning when we move into Shavasana, see which pose your body is wanting today to restore. Is it the butterfly, perhaps with the blocks underneath the back of the heart, or bolster, classic Shavasana? Or do you want a little bit of lift with the bolster? Not sitting on it, but just getting that wonderful heart expansions. You know your options, like up the wall, over the chair, etc. Main thing is to get cozy and comfortable as we practice this art of deeply, consciously dying to who we think we are as only this ego form and personality. Yeah, that is part of it, but that's something much greater animating this form, and we're continuing to tune into that in our yoga practice in our life. Is living yoga as we so eye bags, blanket, let yourself get as comfortable as possible. With acceptance, with compassion, as we guide us through the body. We're having a little technical difficulties, so just don't mind that in the background is being worked on now. As we know, these things happen. So we breathe in, we breathe out, we open through the crown again and again, and we let that light in, that wisdom in, especially in the 1,000-petal lotus in the crown of our head and into our spiritual eye. The expansive energy drawing into the spiritual eye. Softening, especially the backs, sockets of the eyes, starting with the right eye and then the left. Letting the right jaw relax and then the left. Or simultaneously, if that's works better for you. Feel the cool air coming in through both nostrils and light at the spiritual eye, or visualize it. And the warm cooked air coming out of the nostrils. Easing that right shoulder down, away from the right ear, feeling that radiant sensation streamlining through your right arm, right elbow, right palm of the hand, digits of the fingers and the thumb. And then the same thing on that left side. Let the left shoulder ease away from the left ear. The lunar energy pouring down through that left arm. Natural bend in the elbow and the wrist. And perhaps pulsation, sensation in the left palm, the fingers, and the thumb of the left hand.
And dropping fully into the breath and the heart, again and again, creating space there, allowing everything to be here. Accept myself just as I am. If there's things to work on, there will, but the compassion to be with myself, my heart, with love, all of it, all the parts. You may want to feel the next inhale, the heart connected to the spiritual eye and the crown, that H-O-N-G on the inhale, hum. And then the saw on the exhale. Do that a few rounds. I am spirit. I am spirit. Turning to the truth of who you are and who we all are in our essence. Continuing to breathe in that spacious awareness, the expansion in the solar plexus and our low belly, low back. Breathing into the belly, and the next couple rounds, if it speaks to you, from the belly, heart, spiritual eye and crown, hum, I am, and the saw on the exhale, spirit. That mantra is from Yogananda, and it's been chanted through eons. Tuning in to the hips now. If you're lying on your back, letting your whatever's touching the earth get very heavy, yet supported by Mother Earth. Feeling the hips. And let's go down that right leg, the right thigh, the right knee, the right calf, the right ankle, all the way through the top of the foot, the bottom of the foot, the heel, digits of the toes. Adding that right doer activated part, soften in this moment and receive and rest. Deep belly breathing as we shift awareness, attention to the left leg, left sit bone and cheek and thigh, through the left knee, the left calf, the left ankle, all the way through to the sole of the left foot, top of the foot, heel, digits of the toes. So lunar, reflective energy. And we thoroughly can feel working with left and right sides of the body, integrating left and right hemispheres of the brain. Returning to the central channel. This is the yogis. This is where there is non-duality. We're not swung up and down and all around. Come back to that central channel again and again. Perhaps adding from the belly through the heart to the spiritual eye and crown, the mantra hum, I am. On the exhale, saw, spirit. Resting in the eternal peace, submerged in light. Radiating that to others and parts of the world. At your core, you are whole and free. Learn to rest and return and be in this presence, peace, whatever word that emulates for you. It's a much deeper experience, of course, than the word. And if it's time for you to return to movement, you can do so. If you're enjoying this deep interiorization, feel free to do that longer. If you are returning to movement, you just do it in a way that feels good to your body. Resting in your side before you come up, symbolic of that nourishment we've given ourselves in the fetal pose. And we send this energy out to others in with the sound, the 3-syllable Om sound. So, and we'll visualize others as we do throughout the practice, but and also at the end, especially because we're in that divine alignment most likely, and we're much more of a powerful conduit of energy. Visualizing others and visualizing perhaps a place or places in the world you'd like to send this healing energy to. Rubbing the hands together if you'd like to generate heat, any way you'd like to do this. Inhaling. Bringing the hands together and namaste, acknowledging that deep divinity within you, within everyone and everything. That's where we are one. And it's very powerful to know that, to feel that, and to express that, and to ask if there's ways to take action as spirit, what that best action would be. I'm going to stop the recording, and those who want to check in are welcome to. Others I know can ease out. Okay.